In the past decade, we've seen everyone go digital. We used to have hand notes, hand files. Doctors used to scribble things out, and these are the big sliding walls of files, and used to be a nightmare. And we all went to electronic. But what about the fact that actually working on paper and pen can actually potentially be the best thing for your business development journey? And I'm going to explain something right now that most of us fundamentally forget when we just automatically turn to electronic means. Now, first of all, let's just be really clear about this. Technology, IT, electronics are moving massively quickly in the last 5 years or 10 years. Even 10 years ago, we used to, people used to be like, oh, there's a thing called an iPhone or an iPad. And all of a sudden there was a particular app that would be great, but it was so restrictive and it couldn't do what you could do on a laptop or a desktop. And now we're in a situation where so much of that is seamless. Everything talks to one another. Everything's cloud-based. It's all so easy and convenient. And I've got to firstly also say that I'm a bit of a tech nerd. I love my gadgets. I have way too much electronics. I love to be able to grab the new thing on this to connect to that, which does this and does that. And those that know me well are sitting there nodding, going, yep, I'm a tragic for being a bit nerdy and techie and stuff like that. But that's completely cool. And just on the side, for those nerds that are listening, more power to us. Here's the thing. By the way, actually, I'm not the guy that does the coding and that type of stuff. I don't know that side of it. I just know the techie, the geeky, fun stuff and all of those things being put together. But here's the thing. What actually works best for your business development? Well, for many, many years, we've all been thinking and being told that being cloud-based is best. Being electronic is best. We get sold the new product, the new gadget, the new app, the new whatever storage device, which makes it easier, which makes it simpler, which makes it more efficient or more effective. And in most cases, that's 100%, well, not 100%, but it's about 95% true. Being cloud-based for your practice software makes it easier, fundamentally, to be in different rooms, to have different clients and different clinical spaces, different practitioners, accessing notes, sharing resources. All of these different things are made by having the right networks and having the right practice management software and cloud-based and et cetera, et cetera. That's all good and well. But when it comes to the business development side of things, electronic use of everything is quite often not the best way to always move forward on the business development. And let me give you a couple of examples right now. As I said before, I'm quite nerdy and quite techie. So I do a lot of online work, a lot of webinars, a lot of conferencing and presenting every week. And we're using all of these different technologies, from a Restream and eCams and Zooms and blah, blah, blah. We have a whole plethora of shiny toys and gadgets, the right lighting, the right filters, the right DLSRs, the power pass-throughs, the Elgatos. I've even got a Stream Deck here which can open and close programs and run things with a single touch of a button so that I don't even have to move around my mouse, right? And we can run really professional webinars that flick from different screens and different views and all that and do professional studio work at the touch of a button. And I've got all that around me right now as I do the podcast. It's all here set up and it's simple and it's easy to do. So I'm techie, I'm geeky and nerdy, etc. I use my iPad a lot. We use Notability. We scribble and draw on things. Every time I do a webinar for the industry, I have probably at least 3 or 4 people reach out saying, what did you do? How did you draw on that? How did this happen in your shared screen? And it's all pretty simple. But the challenge is when you try and go completely electronic, you tend to end up still having to-do lists, to achieve lists. We start making ourselves, we use Trellos and Asanas and Slacks, and we have columns for this and this for that and blah, blah, blah. And we start to overcomplicate things. Now, the beauty of how to best scale a business and how to best build a business is the art of keeping things simple. And anyone who's made business be successful will know that what I'm about to say is 100% true. The art to making a business highly successful, profitable, scalable is being able to leverage out and do more of the simple things better and faster, right? You've got to simplify to multiply. So I could tell you right now, I could go onto my laptop, my big screen right now. I could go onto my iPad and my iPhones. I do have different lists, and we have different tasks and different projects and different boards and different channels and different everything. And so even though electronic is a great way to go, and fundamentally it makes our lives a lot easier for storage and communication, massive proponent, big nerd, flag that from the start. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but we have to make sure that we embrace the tangible side, the fingers that we use, the post-it notes, the pens, the Sharpies, etc. And right now on my desk in front of me, I've got 6 or 8 post-it notes, post-it note pads. I have a little fine tip pen. I also have my Sharpie. And why? Because being tangible and being able to do little bits and pieces is super efficient and effective. And what also we know from our brains and from NLP and neuroscience is the fact that we hate having big, long lists of outstanding work. So whilst electronic can work and does a great job and it's powerful, I can sit there right now and be saying, right, I've got this really long list on Trello of my to-do list, or it's not a to-do list, it's a to-achieve list, or however we want to try and convince ourselves sounds better to get it done. Ultimately, I still have a long list there that will carry over till tomorrow. Notes will come up, alarms will go off. But what actually annoys us more is if we actually had to get up from our desk and we've got 4 or 5 post-it notes sitting on our desk that weren't done today. And so here's where working tangibly with pen and paper or post-it notes can actually, and in most cases, will be the best way for you to move forward more efficiently and effectively. Granted, 99% or 95% of everything moving forward electronically and IT and technology is going to be the best way. But please don't ever just turn to be fully electronic. I was doing it for ages, and I was traveling around for months on end with the family, and I was literally running my whole business or 6 of my companies globally from my iPad and my iPhone. And I had a little stand and the right microphone, etc., so I could run all my webinars, do it all face to face, and it was efficient and it was effective. But even when you're sharing screens and presentation mode and you've got your notes on the side there that people can't see on your iPad while you're presenting, it's so much harder and it can get quite clunky and complex to be able to do that. So even though it might feel a lot more lightweight and more efficient, more effective, when you actually stop and scratch the surface a bit, it actually becomes a little bit more clunky, a little bit more complicated, and a little bit more difficult to make these things work. The best thing in those situations that you can be doing is have a pen and paper. Have post-it notes, just like I've got here, for those who are looking right now on the video version, have some post-it notes with a Sharpie. I like Sharpies, not even just a thin pen, because you can only write less on the post-it note, which means it's short and sharp. It's 2 or 3 quick words. You jot something down and then you take care of it. You can jump onto your electronic side like your WhatsApp or your Voxer and talk to your VAs or get your EAs or your team members to do things. You can dictate stuff out regarding your emails or the social media stuff you do, or reports or letters. Anything can be done electronically, but the premise of having things just scribbled down with a pen on a post-it note, or even we did our last conference only a couple of weeks ago. So much of that planning process happened with post-it notes, because whilst I can grab my special pencil from my iPad and use things and circle it and crop it and twist it and turn it, move it around and that type of stuff, the tangible ability of you to be able to use your fingers and grab post-it notes and move them around on the board or on a hopper or on the desk in front of you and make that happen is a lot more about the experience of how your brain likes to be able to move. We tend to be more efficient and effective in that realm. We tend to actually delegate and leverage a lot more in that capacity. And as a net result, it forces you to be a little bit smarter with the way you're building your business. It forces you to be in a situation where you're going to do things that are more in people's wheelhouse or their genius mode and not just in yours, which means you're going to leverage out more of your time. You're going to be spending and investing more of your time and effort in the right places, not just doing everything. It's going to mean that you're going to fundamentally know you're on the journey more efficiently and effectively because you're not always having a really long list of things to do electronically. You're not going to then try and systemize this, play with that, copy, paste, do this. You're just going to get that shit done on the post-it note, screw it up, and literally throw it over your shoulder. I got a waste paper bin just over my shoulder. I love just going whoosh, scrunching it up and throwing it over my shoulder. It's as simple as that. So here's the thing. Technology is great. IT is great. Working with electronic means is super important and it's a must do. But don't try and go fully electronic with everything, because I can tell you right now, there's so many examples of how we work, how our clients work, and everything in around the health and medical industry. Sometimes it's just beautiful to grab a pen and paper, have some post-it notes, write down a few bits and pieces and stick them up and around so you can get them done. The planning process is there. You can draw circles, squares, put all the things together, and that's going to be the best and most effective way for you to get it done, get it moving, get it off your plate and moving forward. Because if you can create more momentum, you're going to be able to get more things done in a quicker scope moving forward from there. Hope that helps. Make sure you keep some tangibility and some touchy-feely post-it note type scenarios, paper into your business, because your business journey will be a lot more efficient and effective if we have a little bit of that involved with the huge amount of control of the IT, tech, and digital platforms we use. Talk to you again very soon. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.